I'm Maverick Hayes. In this video, I will take you on a tour of one of the most scenic rivers in the country. From its unique Cambrian sandstone rock formations, some standing over 100 feet tall, to narrow passageways and views that you can only see by boat. Sit back, relax, and get ready to enjoy a personal tour of nature at its best on the Wisconsin River. What a beautiful day here in south central Wisconsin. It's going to be sunny. The rain has finally stopped. It's warm. You know what that means. We're going to get this bad boy out. Oh, and if you can't tell, it's a pontoon boat. But of course, before I can play, I have to clean it up really quick because this will be its first time out for the 2022 season. And even though I gave it a real nice deep clean before the winter and going into hibernation, it somehow still got dirty. Let me give it a quick clean and let's get on the water. Woo, lots of pollen up here. Wow. Look at the size of this guy. Can you see him? He's huge. Maybe hard to tell in the camera there, but he won't be coming with on the boat ride, by the way. Okay, on. I believe that's on. I'll give it a minute to warm up there. Then it'll be shower time for the boat and off to the river. You know, I know you didn't stick around this long in the video just to watch me wash the boat. So, I'll tell you what, you take 5, I'll finish up, I'll show you the final product, and we're gonna get on that river where it's beautiful. Hang on. So the boat is nice and clean, it is drying now, and it'll get a quick dry as I jump on the interstate here shortly. But before I do that, I'll give you a quick tour of my boat. So this is a 2016 Manitou Aurora. And I did buy it brand new. I can't believe I'm going on my 7th season with it already. It's been a fantastic boat, and I will definitely be taking you along for a lot of boat rides. We'll check out some great unique spots. I'm trying to think here really quick, and I don't think I've ever had this boat out of Wisconsin, for boating at least. In fact, I don't think I've ever had it out of Wisconsin. It's got a 115 horsepower Mercury 4-stroke motor on it. And I would say when it is just me alone, and if the lakes aren't super choppy or if it's not super windy, I could probably get up to about 27, 28 miles an hour. Boat itself weighs about 2,000 pounds. When it is a full load, and it can hold up to 10 people. I forget the exact weight that they recommend on here. There's a sticker on the inside that we can look at. But when I take out family and friends with a full load and tubing and so forth, we're probably right around 22, 23 miles an hour. The boat is soaking wet right now after it got its bath. Little perfume even in the soap. Not quite sure what that is. It's not really new car smell, but let's call it Fresh Daisies. That's a nice marketing name, huh? Each of these pop up as well. I don't think we need to open up each one. Get the buoys, and I usually just store them here. Like I said, this thing has a lot of storage. Yeah, I'm not going to bother setting this up either, but it's a little changing room. It pops open into like a little box. Well, I think that's enough show and tell for now. Let me go ahead and put the life jackets on here, get the anchor on here, and everything else that I need. I've got a table area as well that I'll bring, and I'm not going to do any barbecuing today. I do have a grill, little portable grill that I take out, but I won't be doing that today, so we'll just go with the sandwiches and so forth like that, and get out and have a beautiful day on a very scenic part of the Wisconsin River. And like I said, it's very unique. You'll want to stay tuned. Here we go, the maiden voyage of 2022. The Manitou is floating in the Wisconsin River. Nothing is better than this. This is what life is all about. Well, I hope you enjoyed today's boat ride. Give the video a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel. Now, there's a lot more to come, but before I get moving, because I'm so fair-skinned, and I'll throw on the sunblock in a second, I gotta put the boat canopy up. You can see one of the tour boats coming now, and they do tours on what they call the upper Dells and the lower Dells here in Wisconsin Dells. The difference is, in Wisconsin Dells, the river is divided by a dam. And obviously above the river, or above the dam, that's known as the upper Dells. And once you get on the other side of the dam, you're in the lower Dells. We will be staying in the upper Dells today, but a little later in the video, I will show you that dam. It's a pretty big dam, at least a side of it that you normally would not see unless you're on a boat. Look at that beautiful rock formation behind me, and it is up and down the Wisconsin River in this part, in Wisconsin Dells. It was made over 500 million years ago. Can you believe that? 500 million years ago. It's a long time ago. And it was made just from the glaciers and so forth, when everything was just kind of parting. And here they are today, and we've got these beautiful rock formations up and down the river. From what I can see over here, the whirlpools are not looking too bad, so it should be pretty simple. They'll push us around a little bit in the narrows. And the problem is the current towards the bottom of the part of the water here is moving quicker than above. And there are parts of this river that get over 100 feet deep. And going into the narrows, it averages right around 35 to 40 feet deep. If you've been following along on the channel here, you've probably recalled that the last couple of videos just took place on cool, rainy days. But it's days like those that really make you appreciate days like today. We are now over a whirlpool section that's trying to take control of the boat a little bit. If I was to not correct my steering over and consistently, the whirlpools would be pushing us into the rocks and turning us around. Be facing the other way then. And according to the boat, we are at 41.5 feet right now. Still going through the narrows, just looking out the stern of the boat right now. There seems to be a common courtesy with a lot of boaters where everyone likes to wave to each other. I like to yell at other boaters. What's up? And over here, we've got a jet boat. And they'll go out and really just power up and get you all soaked. Say hello to YouTube! A little later in the video, we will go where it gets even tighter over there, and the water's probably only about 6 feet deep. No problem for a pontoon boat. Slowly going to be coming out of the narrows here. And as we get out of the narrows, we will lose our speed limit, where wake is not a problem at all. Again, that beautiful rock formation. I told you, this is a very unique part of the river here, and a very unique river at that. This river also has a lot of nooks and crannies to it. I'll take you to one in a moment. We are inching up to one of the nooks and crannies that I told you about. And this is one we can actually sneak in right now. A little bit of a tight squeeze, but not too bad. Believe it or not, those giant white tour boats, they actually squeeze through here. And in front of us, you will see that staircase that goes up to a hotel resort. As you may recall from previous videos, I have mentioned that Wisconsin Dells is known as the water park capital of the world. With all the resorts and the water parks all out here, there are more water parks out here and more water slides than anywhere else in the world. And I will be featuring in a video in the future the differences of the top water parks here in Wisconsin Dells. So make sure you subscribe to the channel so you don't miss that. This is heaven in Wisconsin right here. Hitting some waves here from one of the tour boats that went by. So slowly we are opening up from the narrows here, which runs probably just a few miles. I'm not sure of the exact length on that. And I'll show you here on a little graphic from where we started to where we can end up. The problem with this part of the Wisconsin River is we have about 7 miles total, because after where it opens up, which you will see here shortly, along the lakefront area or near the lake part, it gets very, very, very shallow and a lot of sandbars, and even pontoon boats can't get through. And then once you get past that, where it's just typically more river, at points it's only a couple feet deep. Once it widens again, then it opens up to some of the biggest lakes in Wisconsin, Castle Rock and Lake Petenwell. The Wisconsin River runs 420 miles, starts right around the Green Bay area, and goes all the way to the Mississippi River. It is just a beautiful day. So whether you've got your own boat or you know somebody that's got a boat, where do you go boating? Comment below, I'd love to hear about it. Maybe I'll even check it out. on one of my future adventures. Getting a little rocky here from the other boats and just crossing over their wakes a little bit. And as you can see here, we are opening up to a wider section that's almost like a miniature lake here on the Wisconsin River. And it's just beautiful. We will stick with the rock formations. And then as you get a little bit further north, the rock formations tend to disappear a little bit, and I think they just kind of pop up in little parts of the river. This 7-mile stretch that we are doing right now is one of the most scenic parts of the Wisconsin River, and also probably one of the most scenic parts of any river in the country. Look at this over here. It's almost like a wall, and it just goes along for just a little bit of a stretch here. It's just huge. And we're right by a campground. So on a beautiful day like today, or more so the evening, you'll see some campfires tucked away in there and some campers just having a good time as well. Like I said earlier, there's just a lot of nooks and crannies here on this part of the Wisconsin River, and here's one of them. In here, the boat tours will stop, and this is one of the first landings, if you will, where the people get off the boat and they go check out what they call Witch's Gulch. I'll show you some quick pictures of Witch's Gulch here so you can see what it looks like. And if you ever visit the Wisconsin Dells area in south central Wisconsin, you'll definitely want to do a boat tour where you can check this out in person. So we are coming into Witch's Gulch here, and it is a part of the Dells boat tour. And basically, Witch's Gulch is what they call a slot canyon located right here in the Wisconsin River. And it is a deep and narrow canyon, which was formed when the water was rushing through rock at a very high flow. And we are at the end of the line going into Witch's Gulch. Look at this beautiful rock formation at the end of Witch's Gulch here. It's like a giant wall, and I'll tell you, on real hot days, you can just come over here and take advantage of the shade and just stare at the beauty. Unless you come out at night, then there's bats here, and you probably don't want to do that. As we head out of Witch's Gulch and more into the open part of the river, my stomach is telling me right now, it's lunchtime. This is one of the best spots in the world to open up the cooler, have lunch, a couple of drinks. If it's in the evening, one thing I like to do a lot out here is bring the grill along too. And whether it's those delicious Wisconsin brats, hot dogs, burgers, steaks, it's all good stuff here. But today, it'll just be a simple meal, a sub sandwich out of the cooler with a nice drink. Isn't this how Leonardo DiCaprio did it in Titanic? Not quite the same, huh? All right, getting the table here set up. Lunch. Like I said, got some sandwiches, some snacks. I'll do a bottled water. Sandwiches made from home. One of my favorite parts of lunch. Thank you, Tate's, for making a delicious cookie. Who does not sponsor the channel yet? Tate's, you need to call me. Okay, I'm going to eat in this beautiful, picturesque spot, and I don't want you watching me eat. I'll see you soon. All right. Hey, I already told you. It's not polite for you to stay here and watch me eat. Shoo. Surely you've got something better you could do than watch me stuff my mouth. A future sponsor of the channel, maybe someday, possibly. What do you say, guys? I like your product. All these cheap plugs. Okay, you need to go now. See you in a minute. Go, go, go. So you may have noticed that the Wisconsin River's got a brown tint to it, and no, it doesn't mean that it's a polluted or a dirty river. Actually, to the contrary, it's a very clean river. If you were to take the water and put it in a glass and then hold it up to the sun, it would be like a tannish or a brown color, but it's very clear. What it is, it's a tannic acid that comes from the tamarack swamps up north of here and just flows down south. And it's really the same kind of dye that you would find in Coca-Cola and coffee and so forth like that, believe it or not. I don't think all this rock graffiti is natural and how the rocks were made, but people were here. It almost reminds me of the sounds of the ocean. It's very calm, actually. But yeah, this is Wisconsin here. Look at this. We're along the river. I'm by this giant rock. The beauty here is incredible. We just need the water to warm up, get the water tube out and do some tubing this summer. It really is clean though. So like I said earlier, it's just that tannic acid that's in there. Not sure if I can get on this or not. I need a ladder here. The problem is, I'm in bare feet. King of the jungle! Or the river. Well, what goes up has to go down, right? I'm not quite sure how to do this now. I might be trapped up here. You know, I was able to use my knees to kind of push up to come up, but going down, it's a bit of a drop. The only difference between that side and this side is there's a little bit of a rock that helps me out a little bit. And this rock is on a slant, so I can kind of dig my foot in there. But if I jump here, it'll be a shock from the cold, and I'm sure I'll fall over. If I jump here, I'll just fall over and probably bruise myself. I gotta go the way I came. I feel like I'm on that Discovery TV show, Naked and Afraid. Maybe I'll do a challenge and a future video. We'll just camp here instead of for 3 weeks. do it for 3 hours. How's that? No food. I mean, for me to go without food for 3 hours, come on, that right there is a show. Aha! Not down yet, but I'm there. Almost there. And that, my friends, is how you climb a 5-foot rock. Well, now that I've mastered this rock behind me, what do you think about this one? Not today. Starting to head downriver now. We will go check out that dam that I mentioned earlier in the video and head towards downtown Wisconsin Dells. And there's a little channel of the river that we could veer off of, and it's like a U where we will be able to go around and it'll bring us to a different part of the river, kind of reconnect us. We're slowly heading back into the Narrows. And we are just coming out of where it was open to more of that little lake area. As the river kind of veers off either to the left or this little extension, if you will, to the right, which is the way we will go. That is where the river would continue, where that pontoon boat is over there, and that's the way we came. But this time we will go through this channel. Now this section out here is actually owned by the University of Wisconsin, and they've got a program with the state of Wisconsin for environmental science, I believe. Just a beautiful stretch of water. It is part of the Wisconsin River, but this is not the main part of the river. This is that little canal, if you want to call it that. And it's kind of like a U-shape, like I said a few moments ago, where we are just going to do a big U coming off the river, going a big circle around this island, because it really is an island owned by the University of Wisconsin. And we will wrap around that and rejoin the river. And then we will go check out the dam that I was telling you about, where they say that there's always a undercurrent of at least 12 miles an hour, and that is by downtown Wisconsin Dells. This is as far as we are going to go, as you can tell with the big dam behind me. And this is what separates us from the upper dells, which is what we are on, and the lower dells, which is below us. At one time, this lower portion was actually used for cars that would take you into downtown Wisconsin Dells. And then way up there, that's where the train travels. And this bridge goes back to 1903. And behind me at the riverfront is like an outdoor area where you can have a couple of cocktails, and I see that they are setting up for some live entertainment up there. Do you know any AC/DC? I don't think they do. It was a great day here on the Wisconsin River. I am so glad I finally had an opportunity to get on the boat. First time this season, and I'm glad I took you with me. Next week, make sure you subscribe because I'll be back in Wisconsin Dells for a show that they call Automotion. So if you're into cars and kids getting in trouble with their cars and actually all kinds of other fun things, it's all happening next week, and I will be back in Wisconsin Dells checking out Automotion. In the meantime, do me a favor and subscribe to this channel. I would really appreciate it. I'm also on social media, as you'll see. Follow me there. And comment below. I'd love to hear your comments of today's video. And if you did like the video, give it a thumbs up. I would really appreciate that. You'll see me on the next one.